The man in the video looks like he's digging up a grave. That's what most of you think, right? But the reality behind this video is way more shocking than you can imagine. Meet Peter Keller, the man you just saw in the video. He was an engineer by profession and had a wife and a daughter. Altogether a picture of a happy family. But there was one thing about Peter. He always had a dream of building a bunker, and he had been working on it silently, almost 2 hours away from his home. No one knew about it, not even his family. He made video diaries of himself while building the bunker, and the clip you saw in the beginning was actually one of those videos. In his recordings, he often talked about his life, how difficult everything was, how his family didn't love him anymore.
I've spent a lot of money on this so far, thousands probably. Thousands more on guns and other stuff, other hardware I'm gonna need.
But the truth was completely different. His wife loved him more than anything. She even had a YouTube channel where she uploaded videos of her small business and talked happily about her life and family. Yet, Peter claimed that his wife used all his money, as if she was the problem in his life.
I just feel like I'm getting knocked back every time financially. My wife is just gonna suck all the money out that I have.
I know my husband spoils me. He hates seeing me in pain, so tonight he came home and he gave me another $20 because he knows I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow and he wants me to stop at Michael's and get some more stuff. Such a good guy. Okay.
Just couldn't do anything for a long time, but I'm hoping now that the weather is going to change. It looks like it's getting better. It's starting to switch over. Can finally get everything up here and finish this off, finally do what I have to do and get it out of the way. At this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I may get caught right away. Basically, if I get caught, I'm just going to shoot myself. So, I mean, I could basically be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all up to chance at this point. So, I don't think anyone knows where I'm at. And I don't have to worry about Lynette or Kayleen. And everything will be taken care of. It'll just be me. So.
Anyone without context would think he was just talking about his plan of completing his bunker and then leaving everyone behind. But what happened next changed everything. On April 22nd, 2012, the fire department rushed to Peter Keller's home because his house was on fire, and when the fire was finally put out, they found 2 dead bodies inside. They were later confirmed to be Peter's wife and his daughter. But here is the shocking part. They didn't die in the fire. They were shot in the head, executed, before the fire even started. And while all of this was happening, Peter Keller was missing. So naturally, all suspicion fell directly on him. Police immediately began a search operation for Peter. Even though the house was burned down, investigators were able to recover the hard drive from his computer. Inside it, they found all of Peter Keller's video diaries. And now, everything made sense. The plan he had been talking about was not just about completing his bunker. It was the plan to murder his own family. He was so inhumane, he even killed his pet dog because he was afraid it might reveal the location of his bunker. Using the information from the videos, police were able to track his car, which was found abandoned. After 6 days of intense searching, on April the 28th, officers finally located his bunker because they saw smoke coming out of it. Police surrounded the bunker for hours, calling him out, but there was no response. With no other option, they threw a grenade to break inside. But to their surprise, Peter Keller was already dead. A gunshot went into his head. To this day, no one knows what Peter's real motive was behind killing his family, but many believe he was suffering from severe depression based on his behavior and the things he said in his video diaries. Still, it's heartbreaking. If he wanted to live alone, far away from everyone in a bunker, he could have done that. He could have divorced his wife. He could have simply left. But instead, he chose to kill the people who loved him the most. And that is the question that continues to haunt many people, including me. And if you think this case had the most disturbing found footage, then wait, because this was just the beginning. It gets darker and darker from here. And trust me, you are not ready for the last one. But before that, let's look at the second real-life found footage.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's gonna be.
The person behind the mask was Jacob Cockle. He lived in Penzance, Cornwall, UK. Jacob was a well-known surfer in his area. He was also a photographer, and his work was featured in multiple magazines, earning him a significant amount of money. He lived a carefree and adventurous life. Even as a child, he had a deep love for the ocean. Most of his life was spent with the waves, but at the age of 17, everything changed. Jacob lost his most beloved sister, the one who had always supported him and stood by his side. Soon after her passing, Jacob made a promise to himself. He decided he would become a famous photographer, and that dream came true. He went on to win multiple awards for his photographs, cementing his name as a respected artist. Along with surfing and ocean photography, another phenomenon slowly became his obsession: whirlpools. Most whirlpools are harmless, but some can be extremely dangerous, so dangerous that even trained swimmers can't escape them. But Jacob loved them. He would often jump straight into whirlpools to record them, and upload those videos to his YouTube channel called Whirlpool Hitman. And his videos, they got millions of views. Everything was going perfectly, until May 28, 2013. That day, Jacob found a powerful whirlpool at the end of a tunnel and decided to capture it on camera. As a joke, he even wore a horse mask. With him was his friend David, who was recording the video, and at one point, even David warned him that this was a very powerful whirlpool.
It's a very powerful one tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, earlier on it was scary. It was really scary.
It still is. It's
fine now because it's so deep.
The vortex of the whirlpool was growing stronger, but Jacob didn't realize it. Then he decided to take underwater shots of the whirlpool. He asked his friend to hand him the GoPro, and Jacob took a deep dive straight into it. Minutes passed, but Jacob never came back up. His friend rushed to the other side of the tunnel, hoping to see Jacob emerge, but there was nothing. He asked the nearby fishermen for help, but even they had not seen him. Then, 15 minutes later, he saw something coming out of the tunnel. It was Jacob's body, floating face down in the water. David's lifelong friend, Jacob, was no longer alive. He drowned in the same waters he grew up playing in. His funeral was attended by many people who truly loved him and his work. As a sign of respect and his deep love for surfing, his casket was painted like the waves of the ocean. And not only that, a surfboard with his name was placed there where people could remember him forever and pay their respects. From this incident, we can learn one thing: never go against the odds of nature, because you never know when it can turn violent.
3,
No, I won't go in.
2.
Well, she's saying no.
No, I just...
Ready?
The person falling in that video was 16-year-old Jordon Holgerson, and the person who pushed her was 18-year-old Taylor Smith. In August 2018, their friend group visited Moulton Falls Regional Park in Washington, a place known for its scenic views and for people jumping off the bridge into the water below. But that day, Jordon wasn't sure she wanted to jump. She stood at the edge of the bridge, hesitating, while the camera kept rolling.
3,
No, I won't go in.
2.
Well, she's saying no.
No, I just...
And in that moment, her own friend, Taylor, pushed her off the bridge without her consent.
Ready? Oh, that's so fast.
What started as a normal outing turned into a disaster. Jordon survived the fall, but barely. She suffered 5 broken ribs, punctured lungs, and severe internal injuries. Doctors later confirmed that her injuries could have easily been fatal. What followed was a long and painful recovery, not just physical, but mental as well. Jordon later spoke about constant fear, trauma, and trust issues, all caused by one single moment she never consented to. And now, the court case. Despite the height of the fall, despite the severity of the injuries, despite the fact that the push was intentional and caught on camera, the sentence was shockingly light. Taylor was sentenced to just 2 days in jail, 38 days on a work crew, 177 hours of community service, and a $300 fine. She was also ordered to have no contact with Jordon for an act that could have ended a life. The punishment raised serious and uncomfortable questions. This looks like a normal skydiving video, right? But there is something deeply terrifying behind it. Meet Ivan McGuire, the man behind the camera. Ivan was a trained professional skydiver. He didn't just jump for fun, he taught others how to skydive. By this point, he had completed over 800 skydives. On April 2nd, 1988, it felt like any other day. Ivan had already completed 2 jumps. Now he was preparing for the 3rd one. He geared up, he started filming, and he jumped to record an instructor and a student below. Everything looked perfectly normal. The instructor opened his parachute and slowly drifted upward. And then, it was Ivan's turn. Ivan reached for the cord to deploy his parachute, but in that moment, he realized something unthinkable. He had never worn his parachute, no reserve, no main chute. He had jumped without a parachute bag at all.
It was to be his 3rd jump of the day. The veteran jumper had been shooting tape with a specially rigged camera when he jumped this last time, just seconds ahead of an instructor and student whose fall he was recording. Then, to his horror, the cameraman realized that he was without a parachute. And well out of reach of the other jumpers, these images are the very last he ever recorded.
What really happened was this. Back in those days, there was no GoPro. Skydivers had to carry heavy cameras along with separate gear bags just for filming. Because of the weight and bulk of the camera equipment, Ivan likely confused the camera bag for his parachute, believing he had it on him the entire time. Another possible reason was fatigue. This was already his 3rd jump of the day, and even experienced professionals can make mistakes when they fail to double-check their gear. And that single mistake was fatal. Ivan mcguire died on impact. The death itself isn't the most disturbing part of this case. It's said that from that height, it would take around 1 full minute to hit the ground. Now, just imagine that moment. What was going through his mind? Was he replaying the mistake he made, or reliving every moment of his life, knowing that nothing he did could save him, knowing there was no escape, only watching his own death approach? Because sometimes, the anticipation of death is far more terrifying than death itself. And for Ivan mcguire, that wasn't just 1 minute, it was the longest minute of his life. So that's it for today's video. I truly hope you loved it. Making videos like this isn't easy, but I'm going to try my best to be more consistent moving forward. If you want to support my work, please consider subscribing and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. It would genuinely mean a lot to me. Until then, you can check out my other video on the most horrific real-life crimes, or I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and Happy New Year to everyone.